Awesome. Welcome, everybody. If you have not found a ball, found a space with enough, found a spot with enough space for you to be able to move, for you to be able to lay down, for you to extend your arms, you just need a little bit of space, and a little bit of space can go a long way. We can figure out what to do with it. The invitation is to find some sort of a ball, or again, hands are always welcome, but the invitation is if you want to just make this a little more passive, meaning a little less work on your end. Grab a ball, the squishier the better. So again, I have a courageous ball here. These are like those Pilates balls. These are the difference in size. But it's super squishy. I also brought a block in case people have blocks and want some support with how to use the blocks. And again, if you don't have any of those tools, you're still in the perfect place. We can use your hands. Awesome. So just out of timing's sake, I'm going to save introductions. And mostly because I've had a couple people who signed up be like, do I have to unmute myself? No, just come as you are. Show up. You're here. And so, well, let me introduce myself. My name is Gabby. I am an athletic trainer by trade. My background is in embodiment work, somatics. I went through a yoga teacher training, a life coach training. I say that I'm a continuing education lover. But the fascial system, the physical body, realizing, recognizing, owning where our emotional roots live within our physical body is my specialty. And so for me, my absolute favorite thing to do and to offer is myofascial release. We're gonna do it today. We're gonna do a full body. We don't have all the time in the world to do every single thing, but I'm gonna try and give you as much as I can packed into the 60 minutes, but mostly with the lens of giving y'all the tools in which to now take this off of your mat, off of our time together. And so we'll be offering some visualization, some meditation practices, a little bit of education around what is the fascia and why does our nervous system get triggered? Where do we start to hold tension? And I'm mostly gonna be asking a ton of questions. Y'all don't need to answer any of it, but rather just in your head, does this resonate? Does this not? Is there something coming up for me? Is there nothing coming up for me? All of that is what I call information. And there is no such thing as bad information. Continue to ask questions, to continue to get quiet, and just continue to notice, where does my breath flow freely and where does my breath seem to get stuck? If you can stay within those two questions, you are staying in your body, you're doing the thing. So again, there's no right or wrong. What I will say is to stick within your sensations. And so on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 is simply, I cannot breathe through this. I would love for y'all to stay somewhere around a 5 or a 6. So you're able to breathe through it, you're able to relax, you're able to soften, you're able to energetically send your breath to the area, or to what I call the target muscle. Not every target muscle is going to resonate with your body today. And so if you need to move in the ball, move your hands in one direction or the other, again, the invitation is simply to come as you are. And so without further ado, I invite y'all to sit up tall. Everyone looks like they're sitting. If you're standing, stand, whatever. We're just going to do a little close our eyes inventory. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. Sit up nice and tall. Option to put your hands down on your palms to ground, or palms up to receive, or palms wherever else. Your fingers can be touching, your index fingers and your thumbs can be touching, some sort of a connection to you. Take a couple breaths. Where does my breath flow freely? Where does my breath seem to get stuck? You need that big HA first to ground. I invite you there. I see some people still settling. Energy sometimes feels tingly, warmth, sharp, shooting, burning, aching. Connection, like deep connection to an area of your body, or lack of connection, a blurry sensation to your specific spot of your body. Regardless, just notice. On your next breath in, on your next inhale, from the bottom of your right foot, collect all of the energy up your right side. As you exhale, wash it down your left side. We'll come back to this practice. So just notice, inhale up your right side of your body, the whole thing, from your foot. Exhale from your head, through your neck, your shoulder, chest, hip, knee, foot. Inhale, foot, knee, all the way up your right side. Again, where does my breath flow freely? As you exhale, where does my breath seem to get stuck? One more time, fill up all the way, this big circle connection. Exhale down your left side. And then the invitation is just to simply look over your right shoulder. Notice the sensations, notice the tightness, notice the stickiness, any swallowing. Look back to center, look to your left. Notice the sensation maybe into a hip, your shoulder, tingling into your hands. Come back to center, bring your arms out, cactus arms. First, just go back, and then go down. And again, just notice sensation. You can go up and back, tightness, stickiness, and down. And then one more. Inhale, reach your arms up, and exhale, twist to your right. Full body twist. Again, where do you feel the sensation? Inhale, back up through center, and then exhale, twist the other way. You can pull yourself into a deeper stretch, or you can just notice, how do I feel? Come back to center. Start on your, actually, how about this? Pick your favorite foot. I don't care what side it is. Sometimes I teach it very organized. A lot of the times, let's throw the organization out. Put the power back into your hands. Choose your favorite foot. If you have a ball, you're welcome to roll on it. If you do not have a ball, you're gonna start to touch your foot. Yes, you are going to touch and love on those dogs down there. For those who don't understand it, they call them let the dogs out when you let the toes out. That's what our teenagers are saying nowadays over here, at least. And so again, if you have the ball, you're welcome to just invite some scribbling around, and it doesn't need to be any thought, y'all. So option with the ball, you can stand and scribble. You can half kneel and scribble. You can, be all the way down on the floor and scribbling, I don't care. Or you can use your hands, and if you have your hands, you are looking to create separation between each and every one of these places that we call your metatarsals, and it's the middle of your foot here. After your toes come this hard little bony spots here, and then there's your heel. If you are using your hands, you are trying to get your fingers in between each and every one of these long bones in your body. And if you're rolling your foot, keep rolling on that same foot. You're still on the same side. And with the foot, with any place of your body, I invite you to find one spot that feels almost like a hot spot. And a hot spot is simply, it feels tender. It feels intense of a sensation. If the scale is bigger, if the sensation is bigger than your 10 out of 10 scale, and again, we're staying somewhere around a 5, and that 10 is simply, I cannot breathe through this. How do you come back into light sensations? Maybe you find that hot spot and move the ball half an inch, a millimeter, any direction. And then notice if that sensation is a little bit lighter. You can pulse in and out, pulse in and out. And then from here, especially with the foot, y'all, I love to flush everything back to the heart, especially in the beginning. And so if you have the ball, you're just gonna take the ball under your toes and then slide the ball, roll the ball under your heel, pick your foot up, toes to heel, pick it up, toes to heel, pick it up, toes to heel. If you have your hands, you're just massaging exactly that, toes to heel, toes to heel. And you can even start to come up your calf, where you're just almost like we are painting our lymph. We are painting all of this sensation, all of this fluid up to our leg. Keep going, and then the invitation is to come to your calf. So come to your middle leg, your lower leg, the middle part of your lower leg. There is a lower part here, we call this your soleus. There is a lower part here, and there is the big meaty part of your calves. We call them your gastrocnemiuses. Nemi, unsure. There's a left and a right. Wherever you are, on that same side of the foot that you started, option to scribble around. So we don't have time to do all of it today. You're gonna have to choose. And this is the best part, y'all. You can make a wrong choice. You can move, or you can just trust that you were in the right spot and move on with the rest of us. Whatever you want to do. There is an inside and there is an outside, a medial and a lateral. Explore and roll and keep exploring. How does it feel in your body? The quality and the quantity of your sensations, the quality and the quantity of your breath. You can pause, find your hot spot, and then the invitation, y'all, once that hot, like you're just sending your breath there. This is that target muscle we were talking about. So wherever you are, send your breath there, slow everything down. And then the option here is to leave the ball exactly where it is. What is available for you to move? You might feel like you can twist your upper body around, but more so than that, can you move your ankle? Right? And if you move your ankle around without even needing to put the ball anywhere new or different, does the sensations in your being change and shift? And then you might like to find one more spot. And again, without the need to rush, you're welcome to stay. Start to move the ball up to behind your knee. And if you have your hands, you can scoop your left and your right hands right behind your knee. If you have a ball, take the ball there. Little in, a little out. So the rotation comes from our hip. You may find a spot that feels pretty intense, avoid it. Avoid it for now, and y'all, the funnest part is when you come back to that same spot in just a few breaths, that sensation that might have felt 10 out of 10 might start to subside, usually starts to subside. And so as you start to get used to the sensations, the feeling, the heat, the pulse, the blood, the tingling, different sensations might mean different things to you. First of all, just notice what's coming up. Judgment free. And if you want to feel something different, move your body differently. If you'd like a little bit more sensation, if you're missing it on the knee, I like to take it underneath and come into this half kneel. So the ball is right in between my knee joint and on the back. And you can kind of just pulse in and out. That feels good. And some of y'all might be saying, wow, I feel a big sensation in my ankle here. Simply walk your foot out a little bit more. You'll change the sensation. Or you can come into like a full-blown child's pose. I find this pretty intense for a lot of people, so, you know, take that with a grain of salt. Take one more breath on this side. And then take your ball. Take it on your quad. So you have 4 quadricep muscles, quadricep, not trying to trick you. There's one on the inside, one on the outside, and there's 2 right in the middle. I find that sometimes if we take our quad and cut it right in half, right in the middle of our femur, we have a top half and a bottom half. Let's start towards the knee on the bottom half. So you're gonna lay on your belly. If you have a ball, lay on your belly. And again, you can think about inside and outside, so I'm just kind of windshield wipering my foot back and forth. You may also like to come up into more of like this half frog looking thing, so you're up a little higher, it's a little bit more inner thigh, but if that's where you're tense or tight today. Make this your own. That's what all of this invitation is, y'all. Make this your own. And so just start to notice from the bottom half of the middle of your thigh towards your knee, inside, outside, or directly in the middle. With your leg long, you'll feel a certain sensation. If you want to feel a little bit more, start to hug your heel up towards your butt. You can play with just straightening and bending your knee, or you can play with windshield wipering your foot inside and out to the outside of your mat, And so just to invite some visualizations here, your fascia, y'all, it is not just the saran wrap that surrounds your muscles. The fascia is interwoven everywhere. There's no start, there's no end. They say that the base of our feet are the base of our fascial connections, but then they go right back up to our body. And so instead of visualizing this saran wrap around muscles, that's what you're influencing, more so than anything, your fascia is interwoven between each and every muscle fiber. It holds your organs in space where they're supposed to be. It keeps your muscles looking the shapes in which they're supposed to look. If I were to, not in a very gross way, but just in a type of way, peel your skin off, you would still look like you, because of your fascial system, because your fascia holds you together. It's not just like if we didn't have our fascia and I peeled your skin off, you'd be a plop of bones and muscles that just didn't look like anything on the floor. And so truly start to think about every little sensation that you're feeling is important and intentional and is connected to somewhere else in your body. There's no start and no stop. And so if you're feeling a big sensation in this bottom half of your quad, can you start to feel it up towards your hip flexors or maybe down towards your toes? Does it travel to the inside of your thigh, to the outside of your thigh? As you feel ready, start to work your ball up towards your hip flexors, towards the top half of your thigh. And again, just for timing purposes, I will keep leading. You go where you want, go where you need, go where your body is asking. And again, the steps just continue to repeat themselves. Scribble around, explore the area of your physical body first. You may find a spot that feels intense. And again, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 is simply, I can't breathe through this. Stick around a 5 or a 6. The sensations are light, are easy, are gentle. You can feel the ball pushing into your hip flexors, melting, relaxing, all of the softening, that type of energy. So we're going for soft, for quiet sensations. And why do we go for soft and quiet? So our brain doesn't get triggered. So our jaw doesn't start to clench. So our low belly doesn't have to hold on to the energy that it doesn't need anymore. So that we can start to get into some of the emotions that live in the fascia, that live in our nervous system. We can actually start to unwind, release, let go of that because our body knows that it's safe. It's not being triggered. Triggered in small triggers, big triggers. Sensations in our physical body are guesses as to what's going to serve it from the brain. When we keep the sensations light, gentle, and easy, the brain knows that it's safe. It's safe to unwind. It's safe to let go. Yep, I see some people bending their knees. I see some windshield wipering side to side. That's perfect. If you want a little more, especially for the hip flexor, I'm going to invite the ball up just a little higher. And so if you feel your hip points, your hip bones, my belly button's here, right? Here's my hip bone. If I come right to the inside and take the ball right inside this hip point, so the hip point is here, my ball is here. In the bowl of your pelvis is your psoas muscle, and it lives kind of diagonal. So from my belly button, it's at this little diagonal scooping into the bowl of my pelvis. Take your ball, lay on your belly, and then you're just gonna wiggle around, again, like you could scoop the ball into your pelvis. If you do not have the ball, if you do not have a ball or any sort of device you're rolling on, take your hands here and you're just gonna scoop them right up and in. I find this much easier if you do not have a ball and you're just using your hands. I find this easy on my back. So with your knees bent, you put your belly, your hip flexors on a slack position, and the work is the same. You're trying to get in at this diagonal pattern, scooping your hip flexor up and then dragging it up towards the outside of your body and then kind of up towards your head. The same work is happening with the ball. So you're gonna scoop the ball up and into the bowl of your pelvis and then just scribble around and move your body ever so slightly, again, like an inch, a millimeter, to almost like you could cup and scoop the ball up and into your hip socket, up and into the bowl of your pelvis. Take a few breaths there, remember your sensations. And as you start to feel the ball relax, not the ball, but your target muscle, relax around the ball. As you feel that your breath can be longer, more intentional, more relaxed, more softened, an easy exhale. Once the exhale feels easy, the invitation is going to be to do the same thing you were just doing with your quad. Bend your knee, straighten it. Little internal and external hip rotation as you windshield wiper your foot side to side, and you may find one way feels good, one way feels pretty intense. When I bring my foot to the outside of my mat with the ball on my hip flexor, my body says, oh, hi. And so I'm gonna move my foot back to the middle just a little. Take a few breaths, notice where I can relax, soften, melt around my hip flexor, around the ball, around my hands. And then maybe I can move my foot towards the outside of my mat a little bit more back into that space. Take take up the space. From here, I'm going to pancake you guys right back onto your backs. So just flip right onto your backs. If you're already there, welcome. So there is a little space between your spine, the top of your pelvis, and the bottom of your ribs. It makes this little square. My spine, away off the bone, the bottom of my ribs, and the top of my pelvis. Take the ball right there. This little space is called your quadratus lumborum. Quadratus, because it looks like a square. Lumborum, because it's in your low back. So, options, again, if you have the ball, come to lay on your back. I like to start knees bent. And then option to windshield wiper, which I find kind of intense right away. Or you can just start to pelvic tilt. So you're just gonna, almost like you could press your low back into the mat and then round. You're like you're coming to cat-cows on your back. So you press your low back flat into the mat. Soft feet, soft legs, you're not working too hard. And then round your belly up to the sky. You may find that one way feels pretty intense if you're ready to get your knees moving, one knee or the other or both. Where does your breath move freely? Where does your breath seem to get stuck? And as you take some breaths here, the question is simply, what does this remind me of? Have I felt this way before? Are there any words, memories, colors, anything coming up for me? People, places, songs. Your brain is constantly collecting information through all 5 of your senses and guessing what to do with it. There's no such thing as pain receptors in our body. Rather, there's nociceptors. And they collect information and send it back to the brain, and the brain guesses what's going to serve it. If you want a little bit more here, you may like to start to straighten whatever leg the ball, the same side leg straightens. And if you want a little bit more, you may even like to find a single leg raise. If your leg nice and straight, just lift it up to the sky. Option to keep moving or to hug your knee into your chest. And just that simple pressure of your knee on the ball might create more sensation for you. The best part about reframing our brain's best guess is that myofascial release I have found to be one of the best tools, the quickest tools to help the reframes happen. It shows your body that you're safe. It shows your body that there is a different way. Option to stay where you are. Move the ball up just a little bit, right below your shoulder blade. So we're not at the shoulder blade just yet, right below it. So somewhere between where you just were and right below your shoulder blade. So start to kind of, you're going to be on the bone here. You're going to be on your ribs. If you have a hard ball, a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball, this might not feel great. If you have your hands, I like to just invite you into a fist. I love to take my knuckles, like your punching knuckles, and place it adjacent, just adjacent to my spine. And so again, you're on your ribs somewhere. The middle of my spine is here. I like to take my knuckles right next to it, right on that meaty part of your muscles that go down. These are called your erector spinae. So again, if you have your hand, make a knuckle. You're just gonna come right to lay onto your back. And the work is the same. Stick within your sensations. Great signs of release is swallowing, twitching muscles, itching, gurgling belly. Twitching somewhere else is also a great sign of release for me. Twitching in your face, feeling almost like a spasm of your muscle where something just kind of like quickly engages and relaxes. But notice you're swallowing. That's lymph. That's a change in the fluid. And especially on this one, as we're getting into some rib cage sensation, with every inhale, can you feel your breath expand a little bit more? And with every exhale, can you push your breath out just another second? Yeah, Alyssa, I see you. We're going to start to get into some lats. So if you're already feeling it and you want to feel something different, or you want to feel more, the sensations are changing, the invitation is to start to move your arms. Whatever side your arm on, that arm can move into like almost like you're doing a snow angel. Palm up versus palm down. You can pause in like a cactus arm, or pause in a diagonal with your arm reaching to the opposite shoulder. You can even hold on there. We're starting to get into some lat engagement, to some shoulder engagement. And so without further ado, you can just scoochy down, take the ball somewhere between your shoulder blade and your spine, somewhere, and again, scribble around first. Like really start to, with your arm either extended or across your body or overhead or down at your side, it doesn't matter, palm up, palm down, with your gaze looking in the same direction you're on, or your gaze looking away, is just gonna make things different. And so the invitation is the same. We explore around, scribble around. Find a hot spot. Find a spot that's not your 10 out of 10, but on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 simply, I can't breathe through this. Stick around a 5 or a 6. You're breathing, the sensations are light, are gentle, are easy. You may notice where your feet are in space. If your knees are in butterfly, if your feet are as wide as your mat and your knees are kissed to the middle of your mat versus your legs long, versus putting yourself in like a supine twist where you take both your knees across your body to one direction versus the other direction, we may just have different sensations. And the invitation is to come to lay on your belly. And we're going to do one on your chest. And so my sternum is here, right in the middle, where all my ribs most of them insert into. We got a couple floaters down there. Somewhere in the front of your chest here. And so with my palm forward, my biceps tendon is right in the front. That might feel great. And if you have a squishy, rubbery ball, especially if you have one of my balls, and if you do want one and you don't have one, let me know. I like this because we can do this thing called skin pulling, which is why I'm nice and close. And so what you can do is almost think about taking the ball this rubbery ball on skin is what we're going for, because it almost like cups it and scoops it. I don't know if you can see it start to almost like actually move my skin. We call this skin pulling. The same thing works with our hands, but you can almost start to pull your skin away and pull your skin away. I say this especially if you got bicep stuff going on. This is great. And if you just want to feel something different, we're going to keep doing the same thing. So option to do your skin pulling, option to play with it, rub it. Again, you're just trying to pull your skin away. That's the fascia. But what it does, it creates heat and friction, just like when we rub our hands together. And so we create space between, so when we do this sliding and gliding past each other, the friction doesn't need to be so much to create so much heat. Heat equals inflammation. And so if you want a little bit more, you're gonna come to lay. I like cactus arm or capital letter T, lay on your belly. You're going to explore around just like we've been doing, y'all. And so first you wiggle around, feel the ball somewhere. And if you're not feeling too tight, I love that for y'all, you're welcome to come a little bit more onto your armpit. And so if the chest doesn't feel too much sensation, you're gonna take the ball kind of down and in towards your armpit just a little bit. And you may like to pretend you're on the beach here. So hand under your head, chilling, Jane Fonda at the beach. I don't know why anytime I lay on my side, this is Jane Fonda. But remember, if you are in your armpit or close to your armpit, you got a big old lymph node in there. Well, a bunch of them, but big one. So do be mindful. Any tingling into your fingertips, be mindful. Wherever you are, notice. Arm long, head down, palm up versus palm down will just be different. Stick within your sensations. Where does your breath flow freely? Where does your breath seem to get stuck? Take a big breath in on this side. HA. Let it go. And come to lay on your back or your belly. Belly Shavasana, back Shavasana. Just a spot in which you can check in. Back, belly, child's pose. Come back to your breath. The invitation when we started was to breathe up your right side, breathe down your left side. We breathe up through the masculine, the doing, the busy, to breathe down the left side, your feminine, your chill, your sensual, sexual, in all senses of that word, those words. Just notice, can you collect that doing energy up your right? And almost like you can cleanse or wash down the creative side. How has it changed or shifted, if at all? Take a big breath in. HA. Wiggle your fingers. Come on back up. If you started standing, the invitation is to come back to stand. Start on the bottom of your left foot. The bottom of your left foot as you scribble around. Scribble, scribble first. Let this side be totally new. And if you don't have a ball, again, the work is to start to think about spreading out each and every one of these long bones in your foot. And again, from the base of your toes to your heel, like you could take your fingers up and down between each and every one of these long bones of your foot. And then if you've been following the yoga rehab method at all, we've been talking about this taco. And the taco of your foot is like this. Like you could take your foot and make it into a taco, like literally squeeze it in half. Regardless of the taco, the work is to get your foot moving again, to get it mobile. So popping, clicking, totally normal, especially painless, I should say. Painless popping and clicking, totally normal. Scribble around, feel the bottom of your foot, and then notice, can you feel the bottom of your foot? I say I've worked with many people who cannot. Certain parts are blurry, meaning their brain doesn't really pick up where it is. You may like to find your hot spot now. You may feel something. You can kind of pulse in and out of that sensation into that hot spot. And then the work is to flush back to your heart. So toes to heel, pick your foot up. Toes to heel, toes to heel. And then after this foot, just bring your feet together wherever you are. If you're laying, if you're sitting, just notice. Even without doing anything on your left side. I did most on my right side. Whatever side you didn't just do. Just notice, feel the tingling, the changes, the shifts. Especially if you don't have all the time to do a 60-minute flow every day, you can choose one spot. You may notice even right now with the foot you just did, mine was my left side, you may feel that whole side already engaged, already turning on. I feel like almost like this energy is getting mobilized. I'm starting to feel psyched up. I'm getting a little loud over here. Big breath in. Move up to your calf. Again, remembering we have a top and a bottom, almost like if you took your shin, cut it right in half. This bottom half we consider more like your soleus. We call it, muscle called your soleus. Up here is an inside and an outside gastroc muscle, medial and lateral. And so you may like to feel the bottom, more so on the bottom. It's better this way. Versus the top half of your calves, inside and outside. You can scribble back and forth between the inside and the outside, toes in, toes out. Or you may like to just find that one hot spot. Pause. Wait for the sensations to shift. Your breath may feel different. The sensations may feel lighter, easier. Then create a little bit of movement. For our calf, typically the movement is at our foot. Again, really great signs of resetting. Might even be cracking of a joint. You may feel your ankle popping a little bit here. Or maybe when you curl your toes, your knuckles almost feel like they want to pop. Or they do pop. Twitching of your muscles, gurgling of your belly, swallowing, twitching. Twitching of a muscle that you're on or a totally different body part. Almost feeling like this buildup of heat or sensation somewhere else, and with the exhale, things start to shift. The temperature starts to shift. All great signs of release. Awesome. Come up onto your quadricep muscles. So you're going to lay on your belly. We're going to cut the quad in half, right through the middle of your thigh. So the bottom half, let's start with closer to your knee. Remember, there's inside, there's outside, and there's right in the middle. You may like something a little bit more to the inside. You may like to be directly right in the middle of your lower quad. So explore first. Find your hot spot if there's any there. Can I breathe through this? Or do I need to move the ball in any direction to make the sensations a little bit more accessible? And again, you may feel your belly gurgle. You may feel yourself swallow. You may feel your quad twitch as a whole muscle group. You may feel your glutes or something else let go, your low back, your hip flexors. Something might be available. Create some movement into that new space. And the movement might not be your leg fully straight. It might just be little pulses at first. For me, when I start to straighten anything more than this, I'm like, ooh, that's big, that's a lot. So I just bend, I go right to that space, and then I bend right back into it. And now, eventually, after about 5, maybe 6, maybe 7 more reps, I'm able to get my leg fully straight without big sensations. Again, 7 reps. For you, it might be 10, it might be 20, it might not happen today, that's fine. But just notice the sensations, stick within the sensations of your body. Learn the sensations of your body. And again, I know you won't have 60 minutes every day to do this. But just to empower y'all, first and foremost, everything's connected. You can't choose a wrong spot. But start to make the practice and build the muscle of, I have 10 minutes. Let me do something for myself. I have somewhere to be. I have somewhere to go. I have a presentation to give. I need to be in big energy. Let me cultivate something that gives me that big energy. If and when you feel ready, move your ball, your hands up to the top quad, the top half of your quads. Inside, outside, little half frog sensation where you just bring your knee up towards your side body. Where can I soften, melt, relax? Your face, your jaw, hands, your low belly. There's a spot that you love to hold tension in. There's a spot that naturally wants to hold tension. Get to know that spot, that space. Get to know the feeling, the sensation, so you can do something about it before it starts to take over your whole being. You want a little more, start to bend, start to create some movement. Heel to bum, windshield wiper left and right. Where can I lengthen my exhale, remind my body that I'm safe? And y'all, sometimes it looks like closing your eyes. If the sensations are too big, close your eyes. There's more visual receptors on your brain than any other sense organ. Close your eyes. Notice if you can melt any tension, a little bit of tension, 1% of tension away. Option to stay here or move up to your hip flexor, into the bowl of your pelvis. So once more, the bowl of your pelvis, my ASIS, your anterior superior iliac spine. It is your hip points. Take your ball somewhere right to the inside of your hip points. And again, the ball's gonna go into like a diagonal, the bowl of your pelvis. Come to lay on your belly. Wiggle around. Again, like you could scoop the ball into the bowl of your pelvis. With every exhale, can you soften your belly? Twitching, gurgling belly, swallowing, itchy nose, twitching of a different part of your body, a shaking of your leg, a flicking of your fingers, a cracking of your toes. Y'all, everything's intentional. If you want a little more, create some movement. Maybe it's heel to bum. And maybe sometimes, y'all, for this one, for me, I like to come up higher. Like I'm pushing up into up dog or seal or sphinx. Sometimes when I come down and bring my forehead to the mat, the sensation actually gets less. And so again, just notice for you and your body today, knowing that tomorrow, tonight may feel different. What is the quality and the quantity of the sensations? And where is your breath? Biggest breath out yet. Notice how that big HA might actually help sensations in your body. May actually help bring you back to this equilibrium. It all happens in the breath, especially the exhale. Stay on your belly. Take your ball up to your chest. We'll come onto our backs in just a second. More than a second. But you're welcome to find your chest on this opposite side that you're on. And so again, some of us just started with that skin pulling. You can use the ball to do your skin rolling, that skin pulling we were working on. You can use your fingers to pull away. And again, I'm sharing it with the shoulder, through the shoulder. This works for any part of our bodies. This skin pulling away creates the sensation that our brain needs to remind us that we're safe. Your brain collects sensation first, then creates motor output. So if your ball is on your chest, you can move it towards your armpit. Stick within your sensations on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 is simply, I cannot breathe through this. Where your neck is will also change sensation, dictate sensations of your body. see a couple people laying on their sides. I love that. Get into the lat. If you have a block, y'all, this like lat Jane Fonda beach loving, ugh, so intense, so good, so hard, so much. This is what it, yeah, I see you. Working hard. But remember the sensations. If the sensations are too big, if the sensations make you white knuckle, clench your jaw, tighten, 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 shrug your shoulders up, what about that looks like melt, relax, soften, let go, unwind, release? We need to remind our brain that we're safe. It's safe enough to let go. Take one more breath on this side. And come to lay on your backs. The ball will start down at your QL or your quadratus lumborum on the top of your pelvis, next to your spine, below your rib cage. There is a little pocket. Most of us, y'all, it's like 2 or 3. 3 is a lot. 3 is a big distance. 3 fingers distance this way. And so again, the ball will just sit, tuck up in there somewhere. Come to lay on your back. You may start off with just some pelvic rocks or some pelvic tilts. And the pelvic tilts may be enough. And honestly, just putting the ball there may be enough. If you have your hands, you want to try the knuckle on this side. Take the knuckles right next to your spine on the meaty part of your muscles. Bone on bone never feels great. And so if it feels too intense, like I said before, just move a millimeter, an inch, half a millimeter. Sometimes it's so subtle, the amount you need to move, but yet the sensations change so dramatically. Where can you soften? Where can you melt? Where can you send your breath to allow your body to unwind? You may like to straighten your leg. You may like to do some leg raises with your leg straight. Just lift your leg up as high as it feels comfortable. You may like to keep the movement, the activation, or you may like to just hug your knee into your chest. And you might also like to find a reclined pigeon where you actually come into like a figure 4, but the ball is still underneath your low back. It doesn't need to move anywhere. Yeah, or you can just start to hug your knee into your opposite shoulder. Not even find the figure 4, but everything's connected, y'all. Just start to get to know your body. What does it need to create open, to create sensations that feel good in your being today? Knowing that tomorrow, knowing that tonight, those sensations may be different. But just creating the tools, the awareness, the body awareness that you need to stick to your body, to know the medicine to give yourself. When you need to cultivate energy, when you need to release energy, when you need to call something in, when you need to let something go. Scoochie the ball all the way up between your shoulder blade. Excuse me, right below your shoulder blade first. Moving up towards our shoulder blades, stick somewhere on your ribs. And the movement here may be a twist. Supine twist, your knees left versus right. And the movement here may just be connecting deeper to your diaphragmatic breathing. How low can you breathe in from? Like into your belly, and no, you're not actually breathing into your belly. I say this because I get this question more than I'd like to admit. You always only breathe into your lungs. However, your diaphragm lives at the bottom of your rib cage. So sometimes it may feel like your belly is also helping create this expansive motion that your diaphragm helps create. Remember where your gaze is important and intentional. Your palm, is it up? Is it down? Is it neutral? Is it up and overhead? Is it somewhere at your side? Is it cross your body? With the invitation now being to move the ball up somewhere between your shoulder blade and your spine, a little higher. And this might be where you find your snow angels. This might be where you find some diagonal movements of your palm up versus palm down. Your legs long, with your feet wide and your knees to the middle of your mat. Or a butterfly pose. You may like a cactus arm with your hand going up and down. You may like a straight arm. You may like your gaze facing the same direction that the ball's on or the opposite direction. Notice the quality, the quantity of your breath. Take one more big breath in on this side. A big breath out. Remove your ball. And if you're on your back and you like it there, I invite you to stay. Just breathe a few times. Up your right leg, down your left leg. Breath in, up your right side. Breath down your left side. I like to envision your breath going into the earth's energy. Take some energy, something that you need. Breathe up your right side, all the way out through the crown of your head. Maybe a color, a phrase, a word, a memory. As you exhale, wash it down your left side. A cleansing release, soften, let go. Inhale, up your right side. The masculine, the doing, the busy, the get shit done. Exhale, down your left side. The lyrical, nonsensical, feel good, do things because they might feel good. They have potential to feel good. Keep breathing. Create your flow, your pattern. Notice, where does your breath flow freely versus where does your breath seem to get stuck? Is there a spot that you wish you would have released? Is there a spot that you'd like to go back to if you had just another minute, another moment? The invitation is to stay, or take a few minutes to find one more spot. Want to find one more spot and you have no idea what to do, my last and final release I wanted to share with y'all is a diaphragm. And the diaphragm is pretty intense, and the diaphragm can help reset lots of stuff. Digestive stuff, reproductive stuff, right? It just helps the fascial system. Your fascia holds all of your organs in space where they're meant to be. Your diaphragm helps maintain the pressure system. So the diaphragm lives tucked up and into your ribs. And so you can take your hands and kind of scoop them up and into your ribs. And it's here, it's all here. Or you can take the ball and kind of scoop it up and in. You can start in the middle, or you can just start on one side or another. We just have like 2 minutes. And so the invitation is, if you want one more spot, you have a couple minutes, literally just that. You can use your hands to really stick up and in there, sticking within your sensations. Or you can take the ball, come to lay on your belly. You can start off to one side or another. I like to think about where my hand is in space versus my elbows tucked under is going to change the sensation. Just like the psoas or our hip flexor, if you're up on your elbows versus down with your head to the floor, sensations will just feel different. Some not easy, some not hard, just different. Different on all of us. And so as you're here, if you're here, you can play with where your foot is in space. That may change or may not. More so than anything, I invite you to play with your breath. With every inhale, can you feel expansion around the ball? On every exhale, can you feel, see, and visualize the ball going up and into your diaphragm, finding more length in your diaphragm. Your diaphragm is like a big pancake muscle that inserts onto all 360 sides of your rib cage. If you imagine the rib cage like a bird cage, your diaphragm goes across the entire bottom. So you may, with the ball on your front, be feeling sensation on your back. Popping and clicking of your ribs, normal. Not expected, but normal. You're welcome to stay where you are. Start to create a little bit of movement. Maybe the ball starts to roll around to a different side of your diaphragm. Maybe towards the middle first. You may notice a huge difference left versus right. With every exhale, where can you soften, relax, unwind? Where does your body want to hold on to tension? And when your body starts to hold on to tension, if it holds on to tension, what are the stories, the words, the colors and phrases that come up? Option to stay here. Option to just simply remove your ball. Come onto your belly, come onto your back. We have a few more breaths together. With every inhale, where can you feel, find, identify more length in your body? With every exhale, is there a spot that feels more together, more put back, more connection, more sensation or awareness? Big breath in. HA, big breath out. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, your ankles and your wrists. You're welcome to come back to your screen. You're welcome to stay exactly where you are. We are right at the top of the hour. Thank y'all so much for being here today. Thank you for showing up for yourselves, for each other, in creation of this community. This will be a offering for me that will show up again and again and again. This is my love, my joy, my passion. I've been sharing it with so many people for so long, and I've had so many people ask for it. So this will definitely be something that you'll see from me more and more. I'm sure it will always be one of my free offerings. So if you guys are interested, you will continue to get the emails if you'd like, and I will continue to let you all know. But I have some other fun stuff coming up I'll keep you posted about. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Marta. Thank you, Aisa. Tell Steph I love her. Lots of yawns. Nice, JT. That's a great sign of release. Ciao. Oh, I love you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you. In your own way, if you like to unmute, say goodbye. Thank you for being here.
That was so nice.
Oh,
I'm gonna do that every day.
good.
Thank y'all so much.
You're
Thanks,
never going to
Gabby.
feel the same. You're welcome.
No.
For
I
my
need thank you.
entrepreneurs. Yes, you're welcome. Try and do
I
something creative. Like go do something with this energy you just did like you got it moving. Let's do something with it.
thank you. I need one of your softer balls.
Oh, I'll get you
That's
one.
what I've determined.
Yes, yes. I got you. I got you.
Yay,
Oh,
thank you so much.
thank you,
Bye.
my love. Thank you for being here. Thank you,
Thanks,
Heather.
Gab.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye, Alyssa.
Bye.
Bye, my sweet Lee. I'll see you later.
Bye bye.
Bye, lovey.
Thank you.
You're welcome.